I'll be real with y'all. I'm so tired today.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Gallifrey Gals Get Wibbly Wobbly. I'm Paula.
That was so good.
What Doctor Who thing are we watching today, Katrina?
We have...
Even though I've got our Star Trek mug today, I love this so much.
But it's so good. I just love it so much. Okay, well, listen. You're asking for it. Not to sound like that, but she was just calling.
Oh, there she is.
Sweet.
Hey, pretty kitty.
That's what I call her. She's my pretty kitty.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, she's like, oh,
okay. Little slinky cat. Anyways, we are watching. We have one more special before series 8 begins.
Okay.
You know how they do this sometimes. They're just like in between series. There's like, here's this and this special. And of course we had the 50th, which has been like this build up. And
oh, that was so fun.
Oh, wasn't it though?
I love David Tennant. It was so fun to see David Tennant and Matt Smith together, and just to see all three of those actors playing the same character in like slightly different ways, but they all felt like the same character. It was really neat.
And by the end of it, they all were like, you know, like we're all us, we're all the Doctor, you know. But also it's just like that really beautiful moment where, you know, John Hurt is like gonna do it alone, and he's like, we're feeling it really hard, you know. And then Billie Piper, she's like, that sound that brings everybody hope, and then you hear the TARDIS and you're just like, oh, it's very good.
Good.
And also the ending with Mr. Baker making an appearance.
Yeah, that was neat. That was really cool.
It was so funny. You're like, I'd recognize those eyes anywhere.
Seriously.
Mr. And his little nose.
It's got very round eyes.
Very round eyes. And we ended with learning, the title of the painting, which was Gallifrey Falls or No More. And he was like, what if it's Gallifrey Falls No More? So is Gallifrey floating around out there somewhere? Did it work?
It's been hidden away. I think so. I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I think.
Just based off of setting up future plots, it's, you know.
Yeah, right. Just in terms of like having more story.
In terms of like writing, like that. So yeah, the 50th anniversary. That was so much fun. It was so good to see David Tennant. And like you said, getting to see them act alongside each other. So now we have a Christmas special.
All right.
Called The Time of the Doctor.
I hope this one doesn't make me cry as much as the last one did. You know, like the guy who dies in his plane war and the kids and needing to be told at Christmas. And that one, I cried so much.
Yeah. It's a rough one. It's okay.
This Christmas, everybody lives. You hear me? Everybody lives.
Everybody lives. Oh. And I think about Eccleston and my heart just feels warm.
I love him.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, I can't guarantee that you won't cry or not, or yes or no. Yeah, just grab the narwhal. It's like a safe, like.
I'm ready. Haven. Let's do it.
She's been asleep all morning and now she chooses to be a fucking psycho kitty.
That's how cats work.
Anyways, I'm ready. Time of the Doctor. Oh,
I'm ready too.
It's been a while since I've seen this one.
I've never seen it. So
You've never seen it?
No. Funny how that works.
Don't put me on the Dalek head when I'm holding a broken bit of Dalek.
Why is there a Cyberman head?
You did not indicate a preference.
Use your head. It's not like you've got a lot of alternatives. They're all here.
What is happening?
He's had a broken cyber head laying around.
Oh, they're just talking to him. There's just somebody's brain in there. I love. This is the new companion I want.
Remember, I want you back in 1 hour.
The North Pole. We're gonna meet Santa.
Cold, very cold.
Time Lord. Or the Silence. Or Weeping Angel. Or a Dalek.
Who knows?
Or an Ood.
There you are.
Oh my gosh,
Where'd
that
you
would
do?
be hilarious.
What took you so long?
Makes sense. I said it was in another universe. The message is coming through here.
This is
truth
Gallifrey
revealed
trying to
too.
come back
At a
through the
guess,
crack
if it's
in
the Time
time.
Lords, if it's the Time Lords.
Oh no, what's happening?
What's that noise?
Where have you been for 300
Jeez Louise, a few years. 300. Is that Clara? She traveled here on the outside of the TARDIS.
What are you doing here?
I was in space.
Well, you're in the time vortex. She must have extended the force field. No wonder. Hey, after all these years, I've finally found somewhere that needs me to stick around. Could have been worse.
Of her like non-reaction, like
Right.
you've had plenty of people who
Plenty
needed you
of
to stick
reasons.
around.
Comfy. Just hang on in there.
I have developed a fault.
Come on.
This is just like Wilson.
On. One more dawn. You can do it. Come back. Handles.
Change the future.
I can't.
You got your TARDIS back.
Ha. Think I'm just going to fly away, abandon everyone.
Of course not.
The Church of the Sun. They engineered a psychopath to kill you.
Totally married her.
Yeah, totally married her.
You're alive without River's song. They attacked here.
How did you stop them?
Stop them. I tried. I died in this room screaming your name.
Oh, nice moment.
It's just so fucking cruel.
Who's the war doctor now? I don't know. Feels like him.
Other fish in the sea, that's what I'm saying.
What's happened to him?
Hey, you dick. Stop abandoning me. That's what I say to him. Oh my goodness, look at him, Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge.
There. But at once, when there were Time Lords. Not anymore.
Well, so bring them in. Just say your name. Why stop it now? There's already a horrible war happening.
You're gonna stay here. Promise me you will.
His name is the Doctor. Or the name he knew.
I will always remember when the Doctor was me.
Is that Amy?
Raggedy Man. Good night.
Yep. Well, the ties aren't gonna be cool anymore. Bye, Matt Smith.
And on to series 8 we go.
It's interesting. I always feel like my first time when I see the new Doctor, I'm like, okay,
I see
can
it.
do
I
this.
feel it.
And then I know the first episode or two, I'm gonna be like,
I hate it.
and then I'll kind of come back around. But I think actually I'm glad we watched some Tom Baker, because I actually think that's going to help me with this transition, because we've seen a lot of like young doctors, and Peter Capaldi isn't young, but having watched Tom Baker and being like, yeah, this feels like the Doctor, even though he's like super different from the three doctors we've had with New Who, I feel like that was a nice like priming me for Peter Capaldi, who is like, so, you know, I mean, it's stupid to say so different. It's not that different, but like, it is different, you know, being older. It is a different kind of vibe.
For, I mean, this first chunk of New Who, we had young doctors,
young hot doctors.
Yeah,
not that Peter Capaldi is not good looking, because he is.
Peter Capaldi, you are fine. But he's definitely got that more older vibe to him. I will, without being too spoilery or like trying to put my opinions on you or anything like that.
You never do. Y'all believe me. I make my own opinions.
She is very capable of making her own.
We don't always agree. Watch our Rick and Morty reactions.
Yeah, seriously. I truly, full-heartedly loved Peter Capaldi from the get-go. There was something about him the first going into series 8 when we watch it, like I just fell in love right off the bat. Like he was just, I don't know, I didn't have a resistance to it. I was just like, yes, I'm in love with you. Like I just love him so much. There's things that, like, again, moving forward, I've said that there's things that I love and don't love. But I really do love Peter Capaldi, and I am very excited to get into that era of New Who.
Man, I cannot believe we're about to be watching Peter Capaldi. Can you believe that?
We made it.
I know we have this reaction a lot. We're like, wow, how did we make it this far? But like, it seemed so far when we first started with Christopher Eccleston. Even getting to Capaldi felt so far away,
ages away. Now here we are,
and we're gonna blink and we're gonna be watching new episodes when they come out. It's gonna be so bizarre.
I just like, it's such a wild ride, and just like the way this show has grown and changed just in New Who alone over the, since 2005, like over the course of these 3 Doctors, like it's just wild. It's wild. And to think, like, even me who's seen it, I was like thinking of Peter Capaldi. I was like, that is so far away. I was like, that's just like, feels like ages away, but here it is.
Yeah. I think it's so cool that it's funny. I'm about to say this because I was just complaining about how the Doctor never says goodbye. But when the Doctor regenerates, they have this goodbye moment. And I think one reason that I think it's so emotionally resonant when you watch it is because that's also those actors getting to say goodbye to the character. They get a goodbye moment, and you can tell in what they write for them to say. That those actors are using that to say, it was very clear. He almost winks right at the camera when he's like, I'll always remember my time as the Doctor. Yeah. And that's also Matt Smith saying that, or David Tennant, when he was like, I don't want to go. He was like, I'm ready, but I'm not ready,
and Eccleston, like, you were fantastic, and so was I. It's like, you fucking were.
Like, it's really cool that they, as actors, it's so easy to pour your own personal emotions into a monologue like that because you're feeling what your character is feeling in that moment. And I think, again, that's why those things resonate so much with them and then with us as the audience.
Definitely. It's I had read that Matt Smith doesn't consider himself a weepy kind of guy, and during their table read for this episode, he like had a breakdown, had an emotional breakdown while Moffat came over and just like sat with him and kind of hugged him and was like, we love you. Like,
because even when you're ready, you're like, yes, it's time for me to move on from this. It's still hard to say goodbye to a thing that you've loved doing. Even when you're ready to say goodbye, there's part of you that like you have to mourn that change.
Yeah. And like, I'm getting a little more emotional about it now because I had never seen The Adventure of Space and Time. And so like, I feel like we have this other perspective now where we kind of had like a slight behind the scenes of William Hartnell. Like, and like what he went through as being the first Doctor and like not even knowing that regeneration wasn't even a thing. Like,
it was just going to be him doing it.
And so just to see how this has affected so many people, like the people who have gotten to play this role, like that's going to stay with them forever. They got to be the Doctor. Like, that's remarkable.
It's cool. It's really
it's
cool.
A really cool opportunity. And so little like side fun facts. Matt Smith and Karen Gillan were both wearing wigs. Matt Smith was wearing a wig the whole time because he got cast in Lost River, but Karen Gillan.
But one time I didn't say Amy's hair looks like a wig in this scene.
I laughed. I chuckled because you were like, wow, she looks so pretty.
It was pretty. The long hair was really pretty. I thought it was nice. So,
I just like looked at camera like
it's so funny.
But Karen Gillan, she's so funny. She said her biggest like regret that day on set is that her and Matt didn't switch wigs.
That's funny.
And I'm like, yeah, why didn't you do that? That would have been so funny. So yeah, this whole like, this is one of those things too where we really like, I give Moffat a lot of shit because I love him, but he frustrates me.
Mm.
Like I love Moffat, but he also pisses me off, you
Mhm.
know? But this is one of those things where you can really see how much he has been like, I mean, this brought in all the way back to the beginning of that
Yeah.
season. Like this 5,
Mhm.
6, and 7, all of those were present in
Mhm.
this one like
Yeah.
tie over episode. And it just I mean, props to him. Like that's not like it's
Well, you have to
it's
wonder
hard
how
to have
much
a
of that
vision like
was
that.
well, here's
Or
the
how
thing.
much of it was there beforehand.
It may not have been like a plan, like, and then when this doctor leaves, we'll do this. It might have been like, how do we get this doctor to leave? Oh, wait, what if we bring back this thing we established? Because actually, that could be the reason that this happens. Like, sometimes you're able to just like make a connection to a thing you established earlier and it works out really well. And sometimes it's planned ahead of time. And I'm sure maybe in an interview he's talked about it. I don't know, but I could see it going either way. And it's interesting.
He's spoken about it. He had some of these like long-term plans. Like his thing was though, is that he didn't know Matt Smith was going to be ready to leave at the end of series 7. It's that same situation where like he thought he had David Tennant for longer and then they didn't, you know? And so there were like stories that were written for David Tennant that ended up being Matt Smith's episodes. That's why like we only got David Tennant and River for like 2 seconds because he ended up leaving. So Stephen Moffat thought he was going to have Matt Smith for a little bit longer, but then he ended up leaving for the end of series 7. And so there were a couple things that Moffat was like, okay,
Speed this up,
I got it.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense for like the end of series 7, or just series 7 in general is kind of like a sporadic, like, you know, shit show.
Get through it.
A beautiful shit show. I love it, but it's still kind of a shit show. So yeah, it's interesting to see how he ended up tying it all together, and you know, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Well, I guess we'll see how I feel about Peter Capaldi when we watch the first bits of series 8.
Yep. I figured this would be good to watch today, give it a little time to soak it in.
Yeah. I feel definitely for this one like more ready, and it's probably just a matter of I've gone through more regenerations.
You start to
and you get kind of used to it, which I think is something that a lot of our viewers talk about. They're like, we're used to this, and I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm getting more used to it, I think. And also like, I don't know, I really feel like David Tennant is my doctor, and so it was hard to let go of. I grew so fond of him in that role. It was hard to let go of, and I enjoyed Matt Smith, but I don't think I'll have as hard of a time accepting Peter Capaldi. But you know,
who knows?
We'll see how I feel, because when we first swapped from Eccleston to Tennant, at first I was like, oh yeah, this is great, and then there was like 2 episodes where I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Give me Christopher Eccleston back.
I don't like it.
So who knows? But yeah,
who knows? What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. My brain is so mush. He just like, they really, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some beautiful monologues still to come, but goddamn, did they give Matt Smith some fucking monologues in his
they did.
seasons. Like, and that last one, all I can remember from when like the time when this was coming out, all I remember is the promo photo, and it was an image of the doctor's bow tie in the snow with like a little bit of blood around it, and it was just like, fuck this. Like it was just like, I hate this, I'm not ready. But it was a similar thing for me where I loved Matt Smith, but David Tennant is my doctor, so there was part of me that was like, again, kind of like adjusting and ready to let go. I mean, I was going through this whole thing beforehand where I was like, do I tell Paula this is the episode where he regenerates, or do I not? Because it's that whole thing where some people are going to be like, we knew about it 6 months beforehand, and other people are going to be like,
I'll say I suspected.
I know you did.
It felt like we were coming to the end of his story. So I wasn't sure, but I suspected. And as the episode went on, when we got to Trinsalor, I was like, oh, this is it for sure. This is it. I know
we were
it's coming.
it was like 15, 20 minutes in, and you were like, oh no, we're losing Matt Smith. And I was like,
And they teased Peter Capaldi in the 50th anniversary.
The 50th.
So I knew it was soon. You can't do that and then like wait another season. That's yeah.
So
Mhm.
and then oh man, Peter Capaldi. Woo!
All right. Well,
It's about to be a wild ride, y'all.
I'm excited to see what's next.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Thank you so much, everyone, for going on this wild journey through time and space with us. We really appreciate you, all 10,000 of you.
10.4.
Pretty cool.
It's rising. So cool.
Mhm.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
You're the best.
So join your Gallifrey gals next time as we begin series 8 of Who? Doctor. What's our saying?
Who?
The Doctor? It's okay. He just regenerated, so we're all
It's
a little
fine.
confused
Nothing
right
makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Peter
Fine.
Capaldi, we'll see you soon.
now. We sure will. Bye, everyone.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up, and if you want to be notified when we post new content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell in the corner.